I'm Linda Elsiegood, founder of the LDN Research Trust. It has been my honour to interview LDN researchers, prescribers, pharmacists and patients from around the world for many conditions. Thank you for joining us. This evening I'm joined by Barbara from the United States, who uses LDN for fibromyalgia and Sjogren syndrome. Thank you for joining us, Barbara.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Wonderful. Can you tell us when you first noticed there was something wrong with you?
Back in the mid-1980s, I had a summer that all of a sudden I just hurt so bad I could barely lift my foot to step up on a curb. Mm-hmm. And walking didn't help or anything. I quit being able to ride the city bus because I couldn't get up on the steps. And it went away for a couple of summers, and then it was back again 2 summers later. It was a long time, probably another 5 or 6 years before I got any kind of diagnosis, and that was fibromyalgia, which at that time was not well known of, and I considered it a non-diagnosis, just a whisper in the wind to try and explain what wasn't explainable.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until 2000 that I got the diagnosis of Sjogren and lupus, which lupus is in remission, has been for a long time. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't until 2000 I got the diagnosis from a rheumatologist of Sjogren's and fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm. So when did you develop lupus? Was it before that or after that?
It was before that, but they didn't. They had suspected lupus, but because I did not have the classic mask, they were hesitant to say that that's what it was. And then that particular summer, I guess in 98, 99, I went into a full-blown lupus flare, had the mask, everything. And that's when they diagnosed it. And we would get it calmed down, and then it would flare up again. And I finally figured out that what was exacerbating the flares was anything that stressed my muscles and triggered the muscle enzymes. Like if I had some physical therapy, it would send me into a really bad, painful flare. I did some exercise on a piece of called an abdominizer, where it stretched the muscles and pulled, and that sent me into a real bad flare.
Mm-hmm.
I could ride a bicycle fine, but anything that stretched my arm muscles and leg muscles really hard. So I couldn't do anything like that, and it seemed kind of calm down on its own and go into remission. I can't find any sign of it now.
Okay. Before you found LDN, what would you say your symptoms were that you were living with on a daily basis?
Pain, extreme fatigue. I was working, but it was the hardest thing in the world to get up and go to work and then drag through the day. And when weather shifts, especially if their measured pressure dropped by more than 2 or 3 points, I would hurt worse. There were times I had to use a cane because I could not move without it. And there were other times I'd miss work, and even after I retired, I was just totally bedridden because I hurt so bad. I was so tired, I could not do anything. Which meant, I wasn't able to maintain my household. My laundry would pile up until I could feel well enough to do some of it, and anything like that.
Mm-hmm. If at that point you had to have scored your quality of life on a score of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, what would it have been?
10 being the best, it probably would have been about a 3.
Okay. And how did you hear about LDN?
Actually, a cousin tipped me to it. she said was going to try it and suggested I do. That was in May of 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of got curious and looked. I said, okay, discounted it kind of initially. Then I got to doing some exploring online, and I came across a video. I can't find it again. I don't know where it was from. About a woman that had MS, and it showed video of her before having to use her walker and a ramp to get out of her house and move around, and just general explanation about how she'd been bad with MS and how LDN had helped her. She was walking on her own. They'd been able to take away the ramp because she no longer needed it and things like that. So that encouraged me to look up some more. And I found the Research Trust plus low-dose Naltrexone.org and did some more exploring. Then, I guess it was August or September of 15 that I had an appointment with my rheumatologist, and I asked her about me using it. And she was all excited. She said, yes. She said, I think that would be a good option for you. But she wanted my pain management doctor to handle it because I could get in to see him faster if I had any problems.
Mm-hmm.
My pain management doctor, when I saw him in October, he said he had heard about it, but he wasn't real sure. I was his first patient that had asked about it, and he was willing to go with it. He started me out at 1.5, and that seemed to actually make things worse initially, so I cut it in half. And I was finding a little bit of relief, but I still was like sleeping an awful lot. Just dragging through the day. But I persevered. I had a feeling that this was my last chance at a good quality of life for the remainder of my years, because I'm 64 years old now. And so I kept on. The next time I saw him, I told him, I had to split the pill. So he put me on 1 milligram from the 7.75. And we worked up the next time to 1.5, and we worked up a little bit at a time till I was at 2. And I got overeager. I honestly just, I was like so excited with the results I was starting to get. I still didn't have a whole lot of energy, but I was getting there, and I was sleeping better and such. I still can't sleep without my Ambien, but I still was having a better quality of sleep, because with the Ambien alone, I was still waking up a lot during the night or not sleeping at all. Anyway, I got overeager, and I said, why don't we just go straight up to 4.5? That was a huge mistake for my body. It threw me in all kinds of loopy-loos. I was in extreme pain. It was like my arthritis over-triggered. Every muscle I had in my body hurt from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. So we dropped back down to 3 and then back to 2.5. And we're making one more drop down to 2.25. I'm way better. For the first time in many, many years, I've got energy to do housework and such that I still have times if I overdo it, I will hurt the next day. But in the past, if I had overexerted myself doing shopping or anything, it would take me 3 or 4 days to recover. Now it's like 24 hours or so. I'm able to enjoy being with family for family events such as that, where before I would avoid them because it was just wore me out. Or if I had to climb stairs, which I still can't climb stairs because of weakness in my legs. But, and as a comparison, living here in Southeast Texas, we don't normally have real bad winters. Just kind of dry, and they don't bother me as much. In the summertime, we get lots of humidity. And one thing I had discovered a long time ago, in addition to barometric pressure affecting me, if the humidity level started dropping below 75, especially once it got down to 50% or drier, I hurt bad. And I would be bedridden or have to use a cane to get around. I'm not doing that this year. I'm walking. I'm threatening to throw away the cane because I don't think I need it anymore. You know.
What would you say?
And we've had some bad weather where it has dropped down as far as 46%, and I'm fine.
What would you say your quality of life is now on that score of 1 to 10?
I'd say an 8.
Well, that's pretty.
Still working on it.
Pretty good. And how long have you been on LDN now, Barbara?
Since October of 2015.
Okay.
So it's almost a year. 10 months.
Well, I carried on improving for 18 months, so let's hope that you have a similar experience. That would be amazing.
I hope so, too. I realize, the only reason I dropped from 2.5 to 2.25 is I was still having some arthritic-like symptoms in my hands, and I'm having some pain in my thighs like I did last night every once in a while. But if that doesn't change, I'll go back up to 2.5, and then we may creep back up to 3 or something, I'm just going to gradually increase it until see 2.5 may be my sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with what I've got. I just need to do exercises, see if I can strengthen my legs and work on it. And I think when I get out of some of my stresses that I'm under right now, that will also improve things.
To be able to join in with family stops you from being so isolated, doesn't it? So that's an amazing achievement.
Helped. Yes,
mm-hmm.
It helped.
Yeah.
And because I'm a native Texan, but I had to work in Kansas for 6 years. And I came back down here, and all the friends I had before were scattered. And so and right now I don't have a vehicle, so I can't get out and go anywhere just willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm.
I have to pay for transport to get me to the doctor and such as that. But my doctors I'm not having to see my doctors as frequently. I just had to change doctors, and my new, because my primary care doctor, what you call a GP, is retiring. So I had to find a new one. And the new one, he's very familiar with LDN. So he's quite pleased that I'm using it and all that. There's no problems, There's a question like, what are you doing on this? What is this stuff? Or anything like that. No gruff-ass worrying about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love educating people about it. I'm sure you've seen me online on the Facebook page trying to help people out and encourage them not to give up.
That's exactly
even when they have a negative result.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's like I was telling another little lady, she's heard so much, pros and cons, and she's confused. And I told her, don't give up. I said, most of the negative comments you're seeing are from people that don't understand the protocols, or they give up too soon. They have one bad experience, so they just think it doesn't work.
Mm.
They don't understand the protocols and what it takes because it's so individualized. My cousin is using it. She and her husband, they take a much higher dose. They take 50 milligram tablet, the standard, Naltrexone thing, and cut it in quarters and take a quarter each day, which means they're taking 12.5 milligrams a day. And they're just elated with it. It helps them with their arthritis and other things so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a nephew-in-law that's got Crohn's that I'm going to try and tackle him this weekend to get him to sit down and read the material and listen to me to get him to try it.
Wow.
Because I know it would change his quality of life so much.
Mm-hmm. And thank you very much for sharing your experience with us, Barbara. Really appreciate it.
Well, I'm glad to do it. Anything I can do to help anybody else, and I'm delighted to help.
Thank you.
This is something I believe in. And because I believe it, I will support it and do everything I can.
Do you have LDN experience to share? If so, please email me, linda@ldnrt.org. I look forward to hearing from you.